The last apps we will be demoing are CC apps. This is CC Clinic, and here we can see the mobility triage report for two different participants, one that has met their goal and one that has not. By clicking on the participant, we can see the daily steps of the participant, their peak steps per minute, and their active minutes. Next, we will look at the Get report, where we can see the averages based on a date range. For right now, we have it set from April 28th to August 14th. You can see where the participant was checked out, and this gives us an overall view of the averages between these dates. We can adjust the sliders. Here, I adjusted it from April 28th to May 1st, and you can see how the daily steps change between different date ranges. Next, we're going to set up a participant. First, we're going to connect to a StepWatch. Here we have three different options, like in a Modus RE. We're going to use a StepWatch proximity for this case. Here we can see the device information, and we are going to click to register a new participant. We are going to set the participant ID as demo1. Here we can see what the participant's height means, and we're going to adjust it to 160 centimeters for this. Here we can see what the steps per day means. We're going to set it to 5,000. Here we can see what peak steps per minute goal is. And we're going to adjust it to 100 steps. And what the minutes active goal means. And we're going to keep it at 100. Now we're going to write the configuration. And for this one, we are going to verify our steps. We're going to hit stop. And then yes. Now we can verify the information we have set and hit register. Now we're given a QR code that we can use to connect to the CC Companion app. Next, we're going to connect to the CC Companion app by scanning the QR code. We're going to validate the participant. Now that we're connected, we can see that we are given a few options. We can update now if we had any steps. We can also go to all days to see our data and see any messages that may be sent, as well as reset the companion app if needed. Next, we're going to go over how to start a PT session. First, we're going to connect to our StepWatch. And we're going to do a stay connected session. There's also the option of doing a disconnected session. Here, we are given the option of using a polar heart rate monitor and RPE or RPE only. For this, we are going to be using a heart rate monitor. We're going to connect to it via Bluetooth. And here we can set our thresholds. We're going to set our low to 77. We're going to keep high at 100. We're going to set our low threshold for RPE to 13 and keep it as 20 for our high. We're going to have a total step goal of 100, and our session duration is going to be 15. Here we can see that the heart rate monitor is actively recording as we are raising our heart rate. And we can see how our total steps are continuing to add. We can also see here as our heart rate is within the range that we would like, our time heart rate zone is going up as well. We've now reached our total step goal, so the ring is now green. And now that our heart rate is above the threshold, the time heart rate zone is turned off, and we can see the percentage of which our time is being spent outside of the range. We have now been able to slow down our heart rate, so now you can see that the time heart rate zone is going back up. Enough time has passed that now we are given the option to update our RPE. We're going to set it to 15, and that's going to reflect in our time RPE zone. We're going to update our RPE to reflect our time RPE zone. And now we're going to end the session. We are given the option to add a session note. The stepwatch will be red. And now the PT session data will be located under participants. And here we can see the duration, the steps, the peak steps per minute, average steps per hour, and the time at rest. It also gives us the threshold of which our heart rate is set, the time the heart rate zone was in, the steps for the heart rate zone, RP threshold, and the time in the RP zone. Lastly, I'll be showing how to check out a participant. It's going to ask us if we have the participant stepwatch, and we're going to say yes. We're going to connect to that stepwatch. It's going to ask us if we are sure, and we're going to press yes. It's going to read the stepwatch and then check it out. And now the stepwatch can be used for a different participant, or that participant can use a different stepwatch later on. We're going to say no to storage mode, and that is all. Thank you.